This is the pathway and process I believe any highly sensitive person must walk through, touching down on every step in order to create the life of their dreams and thrive in their health, relationships, and career. And this also happens to be the milestones that I guide you through in the online course I have built for HSPs and I'm uploading to YouTube. In this video, I'm going to go through and explain what these steps are, why they are so important, and why this specific order of moving through them is ideal. You can certainly work on these things simultaneously. They are all interconnected anyway, or in a different order. Everyone is different, and maybe you've already mastered a certain skill or aren't as concerned about a particular area of your life. But I have found this progression to be the most effective and logical way to build yourself that solid foundation, because each area that you address and nurture builds on the one that came before it, giving you a really solid and stable foundation if you do it this way. With that said, let's go through what the steps are, in what order, and why I feel this is the best way to proceed towards your goal of thriving as an HSP. The first area of the course is Highly Sensitive Trait Foundations. The aim of this part of the course is to help you become educated on what it means to be an HSP and encourages you to get to know yourself a little bit better. We do this because self-awareness and self-understanding are two very important key elements to a foundation of health and happiness. Once you understand more clearly what you fundamentally need as your own HSP individual, it becomes a lot easier to make decisions that are aligned with what will actually make you feel happy and healthy. The next focus of the course is on environment. This is crucial to discuss because what fundamentally makes us HSPs is our heightened attunement to our environment. We are more affected by our surroundings than non-HSPs. This is the first area of your life that you will begin to make improvements to during this course. Why focus on environment first? Well, for two reasons. One, because working on something tangible in your immediate surroundings, like tidying your space, doesn't involve as much emotional and mental energy as the later content areas, which makes it a good and easier place to start. And two, because in order to help you climb out of survival mode, the first things we need to tackle are whatever will give you the most bang for your buck in terms of your time and energy. Because of how affected we are by our environments, even making a few small adjustments to our surroundings can instantly bring us a wave of relief and help ground us. Essential things we need to be able to muster up the energy to continue on to the rest of the course. Making improvements to help adjust your environment to better suit you instead of changing yourself to suit your environment is the stable footing you need to be able to focus on other things. When you're in survival mode, it's like you're treading water out at sea during a storm and can barely breathe. Tackling your environment first is like flipping a switch and turning off the storm and making it so now your environment is no longer working against you. The next content area is self-care. Once you know more clearly what your needs are as an HSP individual and you've addressed your immediate surroundings, you then have the mental space to focus on the next immediate thing needing your attention, taking better care of yourself. You've begun to cultivate the self-awareness and self-understanding necessary to build a solid foundation of health and happiness, so that's exactly where I direct you next, attending to and improving your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Why is this second in line after your environment? Because this is the foundation of your basic needs each day, and getting you feeling more self-sufficient and more in control of your own well-being is the ground level. If this isn't taken care of, you can't effectively focus on anything else. At this point, you will now have tools at your disposal to regulate your well-being and create moments of calm. You become able to self-soothe, address your needs in the moment, and feel more in control of your personal well-being. Feeling more confident that you can restore your own personal energy helps you become your own source of strength and primes you for what we're going to be working on next. Setting up a solid self-care practice that genuinely supports you is like tossing you a life raft out at sea. Now you can finally stop treading water, find some solid footing, and get that first wave of relief that you need. An underlying theme throughout this whole course is your beliefs. Anytime you go to take positive action in your life, there will be fears and doubts that surface within your experience. It is important to bring conscious awareness to these things, because the beliefs that we hold in our minds, hearts, and bodies can perpetuate our struggle, keep us feeling powerless in undesirable circumstances, and hold us back from moving forward. Without addressing these, no real changes happen in our lives. A lot of these blocks are things like unsupportive beliefs that we hold about ourselves, what's possible for us, what's safe for us to allow into our experience, what we deserve. Things like our fears, doubts, and other emotional hurdles that for the most part hover just below our conscious awareness, within our subconscious mind, our heart, and our nervous system. The way that we reclaim our power over the blocks in our lives is to turn towards them. We neutralize them by acknowledging their presence instead of resisting it and addressing them directly. This may sound intimidating, but it can actually be incredibly empowering. Doing this gives you the opportunity to soothe your doubts, challenge your fears, and write a new script for yourself. It takes time to replace old unsupportive beliefs and rewrite new ones in our mind, convince our heart we are worthy of more, and teach our nervous system that it's safe, and essentially retrain ourselves to respond differently to situations. But the first and most powerful step is to bring our awareness to them. Within each area, you will have the opportunity to identify your blocks and create a more supportive way of viewing yourself and your potential for your life. Change the way that you think and feel about yourself and your life changes. Shatter your limiting beliefs, and you become limitless. Addressing your inner state is like giving you a paddle to use with your life raft, so that you can now skillfully, effectively, and compassionately navigate the fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, and emotional hurdles that show up on your path. Next up is authenticity. This content area is next up following self-care because once you begin to more effectively support yourself as your own HSP individual, you begin to experience the positive things about being an HSP, which leads to a newfound sense of pride and self-worth for who you are. You develop self-love, self-compassion, and self-respect once you see clearly which parts of you are authentic and which have been fabricated by and for other people or unsupportive environments. This then inspires a strong desire to start showing up as your true self and stop hiding it and wasting energy trying to be something else for the sake of other people's comfort or preferences. In this area, we begin practicing identifying our truths, setting boundaries, and communicating our wants and needs to other people. You start to see the power of being authentic and how it actually heals your relationships and draws in the right people and experiences that you want because you're showing up to the universe in a way that's authentic to who you really are, what you really need, and what you really want. A much more clear message to the world to respond to. Being more authentic, communicating your truths, setting boundaries to respect your needs and wants, and showing up confidently as your true self is like sticking a big old wind sail right into the middle of your life raft. It points your raft exactly in the direction you want to go in life and gives you a lot more momentum to get there. The next content area is life purpose. Now that you're being true to yourself, having practiced communicated what you want and what you need to those in your life, you've cleared a wide open pathway to begin exploring your deeper truths in life. What you want out of your life experience, what larger goals you want to accomplish, what it is you feel you are here to contribute to the world, or even more simply, what career you want to pursue, or what the most meaningful way for you to spend your time would be. Changing the way that you show up to the world and identifying what is authentic to you and aligned with your goals and what is not starts sending out a much stronger and more clear signal out into the world, in your relationships, in your day-to-day life, about what you want to experience. But this also shifts and affects what gets drawn towards you as well, like a ripple effect that boomerangs back, like a magnet. As you take one step towards the life you want, it takes one step towards you. But you have to take those steps, otherwise nothing happens. Sending out a clear signal is a great start, but we still have to take action, and that's where the pursuit of our dreams come in. It's not just about clarifying them, we need to also go after them, take action, and follow through for ourselves and our dreams. So once you've clarified your vision for your life, we then work on how you can take action towards those goals each day. Discovering your purpose and pursuing it is like now getting handed a compass to use out at sea. If and when the winds of life come in and push you off course, it doesn't really matter because having your compass aligned to what you want to experience out of life and the goals you are aiming for allows you to easily course correct back towards your destination no matter how far off the winds take you. You always keep pursuing your goal, no matter what angle you now approach it from. This essentially brings you to the end of the 3 areas of self-care, authenticity, and life purpose. You've gained a deep understanding of what it means to be an HSP. You've set yourself up with a toolkit of things that support your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. You've reclaimed your sense of self and begun living life on your own terms. You've identified what matters to you in life, and you are actively pursuing those things with small, consistent action each day. Now you're at the point where you deeply integrate these teachings and continue to apply them to all areas of your life for the rest of your life after this course. They will remain applicable to you no matter how old you are and no matter what happens. These principles will always help you stay on a thriving path if you continue to come back to them. Once you've arrived at your highly sensitive paradise, you're going to want to take all the lessons you've learned and all the tools you've gained on the journey at sea with you. That compass, the wood from your raft, the fabric on your sail, all of what got you here is still useful, and you need to make sure to take it with you. You're going to want to continue to refine and improve your paradise as life goes on, as you grow and continue to evolve. The journey here was a long one, and you may have been treading water a long time before you calmed the storm, gained a life raft, a paddle, a sail, and a compass. Meaning, even though you gained tools and finally made it to your paradise, there was still a whole lot of struggle that came before, and the stress that the heart, mind, and body experience from that doesn't vanish once things start getting easier. Once you safely plop onto the island, you still need to recover from the journey. So there is one final bonus area in this course that I've added: addressing chronic stress. Not all of you struggle with chronic health issues, but a good deal of you are dealing with some mystery illnesses and symptoms. As a coach for highly sensitive people building this course, I want to make sure we don't leave any stones unturned when it comes to the physical, mental, and emotional symptoms that you entered this course with. I don't personally feel that I would be fully setting you up to thrive if I didn't also include resources in this course for those of you that also have to address issues that have developed from years of being in survival mode. If once you've addressed basic self-care, authenticity, and life purpose, you're still not feeling super energetic, it's possible that besides just being an HSP who wasn't sleeping well and working a job that drained them, you also may have a vitamin deficiency that could be causing you fatigue, a burnt-out adrenal gland that needs help, or a stressed gut that needs healing. There could be underlying health issues here that have developed as a result of being in a chronic stress state in survival mode for so long, that won't necessarily be solved by only moving through basic self-care, increasing your level of authenticity, and discovering your life purpose. So for those of you that this is applicable to, you have an entire bonus content area at the end of the course to work on addressing any symptoms that may be left over after you've completed the 3 main areas. There are lots of ideas in there that can point you in the right direction for any further healing you may need support with. So to summarize this process, first you gain a deeper understanding about the trait and yourself. Second, you tackle whatever you have control over within your environment to adjust and optimize it to best support your success in life and this course. Next, you gain self-sufficiency tools by creating and fine-tuning a solid self-care practice. You also begin healing your belief systems and continuing to improve and renew them throughout each area. After self-care, you will be able to shed any facades that aren't you, become and embrace your most authentic version of yourself, communicate who you are to the world more effectively, and thus positively transform relationships of all kinds in your life. Next, you will continue along that same personal truth discovery path and discover and pursue your goals and life purpose. You'll be able to clarify how you can take action each day to follow through towards your goals and stay aligned with them going forward. Carry all of these teachings and wisdom with you as they will continue to benefit and support you for years to come, and gain ideas for further support for anyone dealing with any chronic stress-related issues. I like to end the course videos with some affirmations to help new, supportive beliefs begin to sink into your mind, heart, and body, and allow the internal shifts that will eventually lead to external results start to take place for you. So if you'd like, I invite you to gently place a hand on your head, on your heart, or your stomach, or wherever feels the most supportive to you right now. Connect to your inner self and your experience. Take a deep breath, and repeat after me. I can now see clearly the path forward. It is safe for me to proceed. I have every capability of walking this journey and succeeding. I deserve to reach my end destination, and I am worthy of all of what is waiting for me on the other side. I know if I just keep going, I will get there eventually, and that it's possible I may even enjoy the journey on the way there. How did you feel hearing or repeating these statements? Which ones felt expansive, uplifting, or soothing? Which ones maybe felt incongruent, untrue, or stirred up resistance within you? Just take note of what you felt. Allow any positive feelings to expand, and turn towards any resistance with gentle curiosity. Allow your whole system the opportunity to slowly open up to the idea that the steps laid out before you might actually be the route to your success story. What if all you had to do was follow this path, continue to take one step at a time, and move with certainty that you will get there?